Hi guys, welcome back. So, I think everyone agreed that today was pretty dramatic. Nasdaq just opened low with minus 3% and all the way not only turned green but to be plus 3%. That is up and down almost 7%. Since when we see such volatility in one day since the COVID crash? It is more dramatic than January 24th, the Monday that we thought it's a miracle day. But we can understand why, because that day it was the rumor saying there might be war happening, and today it's happening for real, it's not rumor anymore. But I remember on this day when there was the rumor about this war, gold did not have a breakout and US dollar did not spike. It was until this Friday that I saw gold was breaking out and US dollar had finally spiked, so it did feel like this time maybe war is not just rumor but happening for real, even though the market had rebounded for 2 days after because Russia had announced to be retreating, but still gold and US dollar did not fall back down. So I was speculating something's wrong because the smart money is still being fearful. And we saw what happened after that. This is why I always say, do not trade with news. Do not buy and hold any stocks according to the news you're seeing, because there is always the smart money that knows way before we see the news. And if we end up following the news that has such time delay, we would always end up being manipulated. So last night was very fearful night because the futures were all down by quite a lot. I remember Nasdaq was down more than 3%, down to 13,000 level. So that was back to the level of more than 1 year ago, January 2021. Sometimes you just realize that you have been strong holding stocks for 1 year and then it's down to the original, if it's a good stock. Because most of the growth stocks have been down for more than 50%. Some are 70%, 80%. Or more. So that was really a nerve-breaking moment. I think a lot of people had almost had a panic attack this morning or last night, seeing all the stocks being down so much. For me, I was bearish for the stock market for the medium term, and I had the target for the correction for Nasdaq to be around 118 level. But I did not think or expect it would drop all the way to that medium term target, right? I thought it would go step by step, go down a bit, rebound a bit, and then go down more. So I speculated there would be a rebound somewhere this week. And if you still remember, last week I gave the trading plan mostly to short the market, and even the second target price for Nasdaq was 133. And this morning, right away, it got to even lower than the second target, to be 130. So quite a lot of panic in the market because we're talking about war. So this is one of the most scary things in the world, and a lot of investors or institutions would choose to exit or keep cash first before they figure out what's going on for real. This is why it makes sense to be panicking for reason, right? Because no one knows what's going to happen, how it's going to affect our life that is already under the big influence of COVID. And so many problems in the US, like the inflation, the interest rate, the tapering, everything combined. Now just on top of that, there is also war happening. So it makes sense to be panicking. To be honest, I would be panicking myself too if I did not make plan earlier. But on a day like this, I usually would make plan before the market open. I said it in my channel many times. I like to make plan before market open. When the market is closed, I can have a much more calm mind instead of making panicking decisions or rushing during the market hours, because the price action can be very manipulative. It's very hard to keep a clear mind, especially when the market is so volatile, so much up and down. And I was worried that some people might be panicking and make rush decision out of fear. So that's why I sent a message to the Discord last night before I slept, because the futures were so bad, so it's expected to be a bloody day today. Especially we are seeing actually HSI is hitting the 22,000 level again. Even though the US stock market had been so bad lately, HSI still managed to hold through and was even forming a rising uptrend, right? But even so, it cannot defeat the fear going on the market right now. And we are actually backtesting this level again. So last night I said that I would see this as an opportunity because I expected the fear and greed index should be finally in the zone of extreme fear today. And it did happen. In the morning, we saw it at 13, extreme fear. So I thought that was a good opportunity when the whole world is in panicking mode. And also because yesterday I felt a little bit weird about the market, gapping up 1%. So I trimmed some of the long position and bought in UVXY, and it had saved my portfolio again. So I bought in at 16.2 in the morning, and this morning it went to 21. So that's 32%. So saved my portfolio. This week, even though the market is so bloody, my portfolio is somewhat managed to be green every day. And because I have the hedge position, I can be much more calm and see the market more objectively because I have both long and short position. So I don't pray for the market to go up or down. This is very important, I think, on a market like this, because I do believe right now psychology is the key. It's the most important. So I think it's very, very important to keep a level head. And I do think hedge position will help us that, like an insurance, and at the same time would save the portfolio during the difficult times. So I said last night that today I plan to use the money by selling UVXY to buy the dip, and I will stick with the plan I gave. I always think that I would trust what I planned before, especially during the weekend. I would trust that way more than my mood and how I feel when I see what the market is doing. So my plan was what I made during the weekend. I would use that as a guidance. So I would really prefer to stick with the plan instead of making decisions out of panic. Even though I'm wrong, worst case scenario, I can just follow the stop loss. So the plan this week was to buy back GDXU that I took profit last week, buy more CWEB and SQ, right? GDXU, I got the buying price today already, so I bought back. And for CWEB, it got even lower than my target price, and same with Square. So I actually treated it as a gift. That's why for these, in the morning before the market opened, I just set up order to buy at market open. Did not even look at the prices. So this morning when I saw the pre-market so bad and all dipped below my target price even. So I just decided to buy in even though there was a lot of fear and uncertainty. And I really thought news were delayed. So I didn't want the news to affect my emotion and the plan I made before. This is what I always believe, to trust the plan more than the emotion at that moment. So I bought in quite heavily the CWEB for different portfolios at the cost of 8.99. And you can see the low of the day for CWEB, precisely 8.99. So if anyone had panic sold in the morning, it's probably sold to me. This is why, once again, we should not be driven by our emotion or fear and make rushed decisions. Because while you panic, someone is there to pick up the cheap shares that you're dumping. And for Square, last week on Thursday's video, I said get ready to buy the market dip, and my first choice would be Square, because between Square and PayPal, I would choose Square more because the founder is the CEO. And I gave a target price of 89. So if you had watched my video last week and bought the dip for Square, you should be very happy right now because the post-market, it's up around 20% to 113 at most, went up to the high of 123, so almost 30% up. Tomorrow it might keep on running too because it's now past the resistance of 110 and had reached the second resistance, which is around 120. And other than the ones I mentioned, I also bought Xiaopeng, Palantir, Roblox, U for Unity, and Square. And other than the weekly plan, all these three I bought this morning because the market was so much down and so much in fear. So I went ahead and added more, which is Xiaopeng, Palantir, Roblox, U, and SQ. All the call options today had pretty much 2x, 3x, and 4x since the market open because I just set up a lot of orders to buy at market open. You can just look at the parabolic curve from 31 cents to the highest of 1.5, 5x in one day. Same thing with Roblox, right? Market open 1.68 and I sold at 5, so that's more than 3x. It was really a crazy day, so much up and down. You can just see the movement of Roblox. All the growth stocks were pretty much sharing the same curve today. Like I said in the video 2 days ago, even though there would be more black swan news, but in the end it's always innovation that saves the day. That's why I said even though a lot of people are spitting on ARK or Cathie Wood right now, I still think that she is right. I agree with her. That innovation would save the day in the end and bring the world out of the woods. After that video, I saw in the comment that some people said that they don't think Cathie Wood is right, they're in deep trouble, and so on. But I think this is all just for the moment. It's temporary. You can just look at the ARK ETF today. Down from 57 all the way to 65. Up 7% today, outperforming all the index. Once again, do not believe in what the news is saying or get affected by what you buy and hold. When the world is giving up on ARK, who do you think is selling and who do you think are buying the dip? Think about that. So yesterday there was the webinar for LKCO, the one that we have been looking forward to, because the company has not announced anything since a couple months ago, and I think a lot of us have been getting anxious. We are dying to know what's happening with the company. Is there any new updates on the cooperation, the partnership? So in this webinar, we have more updates or maybe more explanation on the technology, which many of us found it difficult to understand. And this time they have put it in a simpler way with more visual to let investors understand what is their special technology, how is the vector mapping helping with the smart car, autonomous drive, or smart traffic. Like how to be able to see precisely in the nighttime, for example, and how the smart cars navigates precisely. Even sometimes when the lane is unclear or under the bad weather. This is a bit similar with the last webinar they hosted in last July. But this time we can see more demo so we can have better clue. And I think it's good because remember last time during the interview with the CEO, Mr. Song, we talked about how it's really not easy to understand the business model and the technology for Luoquan. And the CEO said he agreed and they would find better way to explain more to us investors. So I think it's good that we can see it in a more visual way and it's easier to follow definitely. You can see that what they're doing is really quite important for the smart city project. For the government, I think, like V2X communication, like what we always talk about, V2X communication, vehicle to everything, the smart traffic, or the fault detection and accident detection, right? So it's nice to get an update and more understanding on the technology. But in regards to the new partnership, it seems like they might be having a few projects in negotiation, which kind of makes sense because for Chinese, the beginning of the year, which is right after Chinese New Year, would be the time to set up a lot of the new project for the year, right? So it makes sense for the projects to be in between negotiations, so then they cannot update us right away. So let's see if there will be more announcement within a couple months or weeks. They will be reporting the earnings of 2021 in April. And during the Q&A, a lot of investors were concerned about the share price below 1 and worry that there will be a reverse split. For now, the answer is that they're not considering it because they're hoping that once more news and announcement is out, the share price would be pushed upward to be above 1. That's what I understand from it. So recently, LKCO had moved from the bottom of 39 cents all the way to the high of 92 cents. And now it's back down to 63 cents. We are still quite above the low, kind of in the middle right now. The new support is 50 cents. I think it would most likely consolidate in this period for now, before the next move. Now, that's it for today. And I'm thinking everyone had a very tiring and emotional day in the stock market, so take a good rest tonight and during the weekend. Think about the strategy. Again, it's better to think about the strategy during hours close during the weekend. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment. And I'll see you in my next video. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.